Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Munya. I'm an accountant, I'm a tax practitioner, I'm a business coach. Today we're going to look at ways of generating a business idea. A lot of people that I've coached, they've asked me, I want to start a business, but how do I come up with an idea? How do I know which business to pursue? Yes, it is not an easy answer to give to someone to say, okay, this is the type of business you need to do, or this is what you need to focus on. Mostly my answer is that you need to look at your passion. So number one, your idea of a business comes from the passion. What are these things that you really like doing? That exercise in one of my videos where I shared about self-awareness. When you start understanding who you are, what you can do, what are the strengths that you have, and come up with an idea of a business. It's also the same way I'm saying that is the best way you can come up with an idea for a business. Your passion. This is something that drives you. This is something that motivates you. This is something that you love doing. It's a natural thing that you love. It's something that makes you happy when you think about it. But a lot of people, they see these things and they don't really see an opportunity of making a business out of it. But this is one way where you can come up with a business idea. I love this quote, which was quoted by Michael Cullinan. He says, if your passion is business and your business is a passion, you are going to have the love affair of a lifetime. And also another quote from Teresa Collins. She says, a successful business requires one simple thing, passion. So we've talked about it, you have heard about it in many other people sharing about how you can come out with a business using your passion. And I still say, this is one thing that you need to look at. So an idea that you're passionate about is something that drives you, like I said, it motivates you. And you have the strong love to do that thing constantly. I consider that a passion is usually a gift that you are born with. You don't need to put too much effort on this. It is something that is inborn. It's something that you are able to do even with very little training. A lot of people do not discover it just because they do not put their mind to discovering it. But each and every one has a gift that they have. And this gift, if you look closely, is something that you're really passionate about. There are some people who love to do decor, and they're born like that naturally. They can put two things together. There are some people who can cook and cook very well. They really have not been trained anyhow, but they do that very well. Some things like catering, sewing, knitting, baking, and all those things. Yes, sometimes you might have a passion that you have, and sometimes you just need to go and get a little bit more knowledge so that you structure it properly, so that you learn more about how to make it a business. But the first thing that you need to look at is your passion. Then the second thing that you need to look at is your skills that you have or your training. So when we look at this, we're going to check on what we have learned at school. Maybe you have a certificate in something, or you have a diploma, or a degree, or any area of specialization that you have done, but this is through education. For example, I have an accounting consultant. I run an accounting business because I studied accounting and I have a degree and it's my area of training. So I'm confident to offer those services because I know exactly what is involved. I understand the business. I have the skills to offer the services. So you can also have skills that you have gained through the jobs that you did. It's not something that you have been trained in, but you got the skill through work. These are some of the skills that you get through the line of work. You may not even have a qualification, but you gained it on the job. For example, you may have worked as an administrator or even as a cleaner at a company that does events. And you know how events are done because you've been exposed to that, you've been doing it hands-on as well as an assistant, and you gained the skill. So those skills, you can actually use them to start your own business. It's another way of having an idea of how to start a business. The skills or training is usually an easy and cheaper way of starting a business because you already have the knowledge, so you become the labor yourself. When I started my accounting consultants, I was alone. I didn't even need to employ someone immediately. And I was doing all the work myself. I knew the work that was involved, and so I became the labor myself. So I didn't need to worry about paying somebody else. So that is one way that is an advantage. So you can start by hiring equipment from those we have and set up your business bit by bit. If it is technical and does not require equipment, then it is much easier, like consulting, like I said. For me, I was everything. I was the labor, I was doing everything because of the skill that I had because of my training. So that is another way of getting an idea through your skills or your training. So another item that you can look at is also the frustrations. So when you stay in an area, you can see things that frustrate you as a person. If you are frustrated by something, there's a chance that there are other people who also share the same frustrations. For example, in the area where you stay, you might find that there's no barber, or there's no salon, or people need to travel long distance to get those services. So when you look at that, it's a gap that you can utilize. It's something that you can capitalize. You might not be a barber or hairdresser yourself, but you can employ someone to do it and you run that business. So when you start a business through realizing frustrations, you have spotted a gap. So you need also to do some gap analysis in where you stay. Where is the gap? What is it that I can utilize to offer a service or a product that people can buy because it's not there? Or maybe in an area where you stay, you might be having restaurants, but maybe the restaurants that are there, they don't offer any African traditional foods. And you know that people also want those foods, and you can spot this is a gap for you to do something like that. So the frustrations that you have yourself, analyze them. Look at the frustrations and see how you can come up with a business by trying to solve that problem that is there. Another way for you to come up with a business is your hobbies. A hobby is something that you have interest on doing, something that you choose to do on your spare time. So it usually helps you to relieve stress and tension. So it's not like your passion. Your passion is something that you want to do all the time. That is where the difference is. When I was looking up, I was like, a passion and a hobby, are they the same thing? I found that there is a difference. A hobby, you do it only when you have spare time. But a passion is something that you would want to do all the time because it motivates you. You love it so much. But a hobby also, you can turn it into a business. When you love to do something, you have interest in something, for example, let's say craft or dancing, or let's say playing chess, writing or cooking. It's a hobby. It's not something that you do all the time, but you have an interest. So you can actually go and cultivate that interest that you have, get a course, and start utilizing that opportunity, which is your hobby. So you can actually come up with a business that is influenced by your hobby. So a hobby can be turned into a business, like I said. So look at your hobbies. Which one can you turn into a business? So with me, my hobby was homemaking. Every time, whenever I had spare time, I would watch Home Channel and I would watch renovations and all that. And whenever I have free time, I would go to furniture shops, building shops to see what's trending, what's there that can be used in homes. And because of that hobby, I ended up developing a strong interest of going to school and doing interior design. So I studied interior design, and from that experience, training that I got as an interior designer, which was influenced by my hobby. I started my Airbnb business where I do my own renovations, I do my own furnishings for apartments and put it on Airbnb. So a hobby can also be turned into a business. Another way of getting a business idea is look at the necessities. Necessities are those things that are necessary or requirement. In human life, there are things which are called necessities, such as food, air, water, shelter. People cannot live without those. Whether someone has money, doesn't have money, it's a necessity to everyone. So you can build a business around offering a necessity. When you go into such a business which offers a necessity, usually you know that there is always a market. There is always a market because people need to eat. If it's you go to look at the food as a necessity, people want to eat all the time, people want shelter. So now you are going to look at how can you offer a business that is going to solve the problem of necessities, the necessities that people require. So you can build a business around that. So your success, yes, will depend on other factors. But you know that this business, people will always want to come and buy, and they want this thing because they cannot live without it. So those are some of the areas that I have covered to say, how can you actually generate a business idea? Yes, you need to look at the gap analysis, like I said. You need to look in the market. What can you do? What can you offer people? Because when you are going into business, you are going to offer what people need, what people require, not what you feel you have to offer to people. So the market is the one that is going to determine to you where there is a need. And when you identify that, now you're going to look, do I have the training, the skill? Do I have is it this my passion? Is it this something that I can utilize? Is it a gap in the market? And how now am I going to offer a business and a successful business by looking at these things? So yes, there are so many other things that you look in the market. You need to look at the for you to come up with business ideas, you need to look at the political situation in the country. You need to look at the economical situation. You need to look at technology. You need to look at the social status. You need to look at technology. All those things. There are some things that will also make you find a gap when you start analyzing those things. I'm going to go into detail about those things that you can use to come up with business ideas, those analysis that you need to do. But for this, in this time, I just wanted to go through what are some of the things that can give you an idea of starting a business. How can you generate a business idea? So those are the elements that I discussed, which is your passion, your hobbies, your frustrations, the necessities, and the skill or training. Thank you so much for watching. See you again in the next videos.